Good afternoon and welcome to the greatest Rotary Club in the world. I'm Eric Garten, your president, and I'm not even feeling like countdown today. Things are feeling good. This is good. So welcome. We're glad you're all here. It's a beautiful fall day out there, and I would love to welcome Mick Falloon up to the podium to give us some thoughtful words today.
Good afternoon. We embrace many traditions. We're Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, humanists, atheists, agnostics, Wiccans, pagans, unaffiliated, and so many other things. We're straight, gay, and transgender. We're young and old, and everything in between. We represent dozens of races and nationalities. We run the gamut from liberal to conservative, and some of us a little bit of both. To be sure, we do not agree on everything. We often feel fiercely protective of what we do believe. There's great passion in our beliefs, and rightly so. But there is one thing in which we all agree, all of us. We share the goal of making our community and the world in which we live the best places that they can be. We unite here today around that noble aim and common purpose. Please bow your heads in respect and pause for this blessing. May you be poor in misfortune and rich in all the good things life has to offer. May you be slow to make enemies, quick to make friends. But either rich or poor, quick or slow, may you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. The pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the United States of America, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And as Rotarians, may we be mindful of that which we think, do, and say. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Mick, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Those here in person might have gotten a greeting from Doug Risser on the way in at our table, and Doug is going to come and share with us our guest today. And as he's walking up, just saying hello online to Andy, Carlos, Deb, Dave, Jason, Randy, Bob Holman, nice to see you, Steve Raconen, Tina, and Tom. And I want everybody to know that for a bit there, Tom actually had his picture up. And it was nice to see Tom. I know he misses being at these meetings in person. So Doug, share with us our guests.
Good morning. We have one visiting Rotarian today, and that is Glenn Stutzman from Goshen. We have several guests today. Sharon, you want to introduce your guests?
Dr. Goldsmith is joining us today.
Okay, thank you. Schultz has a guest.
My name is Andrew Russell. She's a lawyer in Elkhart.
Bill, how do you pronounce the last name?
Carnegie. Just like that.
Carnegie, okay. Who will be presenting shortly then. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Doug. And welcome to all Rotarians and guests. Fantastic to have a visiting Rotarian today, Glenn. And it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. And Eric Schultz. Maybe I missed you, but it's been a while, maybe. So nice to see you. It's taken some time. I get it for sure. Okay. Let's see. If you have an announcement, feel free to come up. And while everyone is doing that, if there are any, I just wanted to mention, of course, don't forget, Thursday morning is our morning division, and I asked for a report. I didn't hear who the speaker was. Anybody know Thursday morning? They might be doing a service project as well. Also, I had a note. I attended the Concord Club last Wednesday. They meet every Wednesday at noon down at Bent Oak Golf Club. I know some of you have been. This Wednesday at Bent Oak, they're having Joe Hart, the owner of the South Bend Cubs, is going to be speaking at the Rotary Club at Concord. So if there were ever a kind of a cool day to go check out another club, Wednesday at noon at Bent Oak. And I can tell you from Wellfield, it takes about 12 minutes to get there. So it's not that, no matter where you're at, it's not too far away. Do not forget, and I'll mention if Tom MacArthur might not be here, if you haven't, make sure you get signed up for our County Road 6 cleanup. Remember, we've got 2 locations now. So we've got two sections of County Road 6. Yes. Where are you at here? Fouling me up. I was looking at the wrong side of your head. I'm not even sure where that came from. What was that? Were they inferring, was there a joke inferred from my simple comment of looking at the back of you and not the front of you? This is a rough crowd, Tom. Rough crowd. All right. Next Monday, we've got Pam Cheney, the founder of Pam Cheney Aesthetics. And let's see. I think that we've got some other service dates coming up here too. November 13th and December 11th. We've still got the Bootleg service dates are upcoming. And just have on your calendar for the 5th Monday for our noon division, November 29th, we've got our Rotary 5th Monday Fun Day, and Vice President Julie Cotton is working on a social event of some sort for that day. And so stay tuned, but have it on your radar. It is the November 29th, and it'll most likely be in the evening. Stay tuned. We've got so much time between now and then, but it's going to be fun. So right after Thanksgiving, all that time you spent with your family, this will be the chance to get out and go drink, probably, without them, which is always a good thing. And then if you hadn't already, make sure you've got Salvation Army bell ringing on your calendars for Saturday, December 11th. Saturday, December 11th. It's typically, as we do on the second Saturday of December, and I confirmed with Wayne that is again going to be our day, so have that on the calendar. And don't forget, the Friday night before, we'll have restaurant fundraising led by Pete Norton. And we've got some other announcements walking up to the podium right now.
All right, well, speaking as a guy who looks in the mirror every day, I think Tom's head looks just darn fine, don't you? Yeah. Okay, this Thursday is the 3rd Thursday of the month, so it'll be our after-hours gathering at 5 o'clock at Artisan. Whenever possible now, they're putting us in the private room, so we're not getting bunched up with all their people coming to eat and hang out, and so come out. It's about an hour long. It's very casual, and you'll learn a lot about your Rotary friends.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. In 2 weeks will be the first Monday of November. So we all would like to, if you can, and you will, start paying that extra $100 towards the foundation. And we will do this in memory of Mike Craig. So if you have a check, get it to me or to Jim Story. We'll make sure that it gets sent to the foundation. Otherwise, you will go online. You can do it. And I think, Eric, we're going to try maybe the first Monday in November. We'll demonstrate how you can do that online. So we want to make sure that we do that. And hopefully, there'll be enough of us. We'll hit a nice little amount in memory of Mike Craig. Thank you.
Hello again, and thank you, Julie, for standing in for me the last 2 weeks. Here are some more of our dresses that we finished with the help of some of the Rotary wives, which I really appreciate, especially Janet Fletcher. We have quite a few things in the box over there, and we have 2 more that are full that I have of school supplies.
So these are what you made?
They are.
Here, let's show it everybody.
All right. This was a pillowcase, everyone. The only one that wasn't, because we can do fabrics too, is the little red and white one. It's a Hello Kitty little print. So, and we also have had the panties donated that will go with all of the classes, so the girls can go to school. And they will go in a container the first week of November, and they will arrive in Guatemala for Easter. So hopefully we will have between 15 and 20 dresses finished to send out. We have over $600 in donations. We have 1 more week to collect school supplies and the donations. And I learned last week that our money will be matched, and it will contribute to computers that are solar powered. So the kids will be able to take computer classes at the school that has been rebuilt that we did 2 years ago. So we are becoming a force for change in Chahul, Guatemala, and they thank us more than we could ever know. It's amazing that someone they will never meet, our club, has been able to do this for an entire village. Clean water, scholarships, and a new school. So thank you all very, very much.
Eric, thank you for making my hairdo a subject of today's lunch. Saturday is our County Road 6 cleanup day, so I need some people to sign up. We need about 8 more people. Only lasts about an hour. Coffee, donuts, camaraderie, doesn't get any better than that, does it? So I'm going to send a sign-up sheet around. Please sign up if you can join us, all right? Oh, and there's 2 locations. The traditional location, I call that on the east side of County Road 6, where we meet at Northland. And then there's the west section where we meet at Cleveland Little League. So 8 o'clock Saturday, an hour, big time fun will be had by all. Okay, thanks. Let's start.
Thank you, Tom. Tom, are signups going okay for the Cleveland Little League location sign up?
Yeah.
Okay, good, excellent. All right, so thanks for all of those newsy announcements. That's very helpful. We've got from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Elkhart County, we have CEO Bill Carnegie, who's here with us today to give a little bit of an update on what our grant support that we gave away earlier this spring does for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Elkhart County. Thank you, Bill.
Wow, it's so nice to be in a room full of people, isn't it? I tell you. Well, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been operating in Elkhart County for about 55 years now. I'm sure some of you probably weren't aware of that. It's interesting too, I got sat next to Glenn Sussman here today, and he's a big brother. Used to be the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters years ago. So I not only got to sit next to him, but follow him in a little career jump. going to tell you a little bit about me first, and I'll talk about what your contribution has done for kids in this community. But I'm a retired U.S. Coast Guard finance officer. After I did 20 years in the Coast Guard, I ran food banks around the country for 25 years. So I actually was the founding CEO of the Food Bank of Northern Indiana that provided food to all the nonprofits up in this area. I left there and did a few other things around the country, and I also ran an international veterans group for a couple of years called Heroes on the Water that helps veterans with PTSD. Had units all across the United States, Australia, and the UK. So I came back to this area to retire. I thought that I had done enough and, wanted to just kind of relax with my wife and enjoy the community and Notre Dame, which I have my master's degree from. So came back here, and then I heard about this organization that was looking for a CEO, and they were all involved with kids, big brothers, big sisters. Throughout my food bank career, I was focused on child hunger and helping kids. So I thought, well, this is a great opportunity for me to be able to continue my work. So at the time, it was Big Brothers, Big Sisters of St. Joe County. A month after I started there, they told me, we're in the process of merging with the Lower West Michigan affiliate. So that happened pretty quickly. And then it was a little over a year ago, the Elkhart County affiliate here reached out to me and said, our executive director is leaving and we're interested in forming a closer relationship with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of St. Joe County. So we created a partnership with them. We called it a strategic partnership, where we started to jointly share some resources with me as the administrator and our fundraising team in South Bend kind of helped out. And in the meantime, we changed our name to Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Southern Lake Michigan Region. I also hold the title now more formally of CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Elkhart County. Come January 1, 2022, we are going to fully merge. The Elkhart County affiliate is retaining their name, their location. All of the funds that we raise in Elkhart County stay in Elkhart County. Our employees stay here. From the outside looking in, you wouldn't see any difference. It becomes part of the regional office as a, from an administrative and fundraising standpoint. So you see some other people around doing some things that come out of the regional office, but Elkhart is totally focused on programs. So what we've done is we've freed up their staff that they don't have to focus on administrative and fundraising tasks, so they can focus on the matches that they're responsible for. Right now, we have 65 active matches in Elkhart County. Glenn is one of our bigs. It's we've got some great people. So we have littles and bigs. The littles are as you can expect, the youth in the program, and we recruit youth age 6 to 18 come into the program. They're looking for a mentor, and then adults 18 and over that want to be a mentor, that want to help change the child's life. Our dilemma is that we've got somewhere around 45 to 50 kids on a waiting list. It breaks my heart when a mom calls in, and 90% of the time it's a single parent, either male or female, that wants an adult male or female for their child, and they're calling because they need someone right now. The sad truth is we've had some kids that have been on the waiting list for a year because there's certain parts of the county, or there might be the inner city Elkhart where it's really hard to place someone. So it's a challenge. The money that this club donated, we used to sponsor a party 2 months ago. That was all the kids on our waiting list and their parents and prospective bigs. So we could kind of introduce people, bring them into the fold, let them see in a child's life. I go out and talk all the time, and I'm always recruiting bigs because I would like to have it flipped. I'd like to have adults on a waiting list waiting to get a child to mentor, rather than the kids having to wait. So I always talk about that, and the biggest complaint that I hear or obstacle that I face is people just say, I'm really sorry, I love what you do, but I just don't have the time. In reality, the time is 2 to 4 hours a month. And I know myself, I waste more than 2 to 4 hours a month, doing things where I could be doing something more productive. So we're always looking for adults. Out of that little picnic, we had 3, and I think that's just an incredible number of people that stepped forward that wanted to be. It was 1 big sister and 2 big brothers. So we placed some more kids. We also do families. So husband and wife can become a big to a child, and a whole family can kind of bring in a child. So great things that we do. We've been able to do some more great things because of your support. I have some of our brochures that I'm leaving up here, but if anyone has any interest in becoming a big brother or big sister. And I know that you do fundraising for yourself, but I would be remiss if I didn't let you all know that we were doing a holiday car raffle for a brand new Ford Bronco or Ford Maverick. You have to order it because they don't have any in stock, or $25,000 in cash for the grand prize. So some of those are up here as well, and I'll just kind of slip them off to the side in case anyone wants to pick one of those up. Tickets are $25 or 5 for 100. So pretty affordable, and you might win something very, very cool for Christmas. I'm open to any questions if anyone would like to know anything about anything. Thank you so very much for your time and for your support.
And really quick, Glenn Stutzman, I'm going to give Glenn the podium. He'd like to share something about Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Thank you, Eric. I just wanted to share with you that when I was director, we were over near the Concord schools there, and we had to move, and we dug into our files and found scrapbooks and the history of Elkhart County Club being founded. And one of those founders was Craig Fulmer, who I think is one of your Rotarians here. And there were probably several others, but I also remember Art Eby and George Buckingham from Goshen. So I believe Elkhart County was founded by Rotarians, and I think that's pretty neat. So just want to share that with you.
Shan, can you confirm that? I contributed to, and just having Rotarians, especially folks like Craig Fulmer, that's a neat story. Thank you for sharing that, Glenn.
While I was doing some exercise on the Kleenex device at Beacon Health, which, if you don't notice, this big box that you kind of can hang things on and try to figure out how the heck to do this. So what I enjoy about it was you're pushing yourself to do something entirely different. And I thought if everyone put in, or at the table, plan to put in $4, unless someone in your table or a couple of you can come up with an idea of something that you have done or have done recently to help push you in new directions and take on a new activity or something that has really stretched you that you failed at, because frankly, failing is one of the things that is, if done right, fun. The example they use is babies who will often fall down up to 70 times an hour while learning how to walk. And that's fun, right? But they used the example then as Lori went and did surfboarding, but she said the next day was completely bruised, but also had not had that much fun in a long time. So to think of some things, I'll open it up to the floor if you have some examples of things that so I was working on this Queen-X. I also enjoy, as far as things that test me, it's a little in my wheelhouse, but I push myself by sitting down and trying to regularly sit down at the piano and play, usually something out of the Frank Sinatra wheelhouse, just to try to sight read and kind of keep my activities up. Or learning a new board game when my son was home from Purdue, Ticket to Ride. I'd never played that before. I got my butt kicked, but it was a good time because that's the first time we've had a family play night in quite a while. Anyway, anybody have some examples? Yes?
Family inspired me to take a pole dancing class.
Pole dancing, awesome. Okay, so one less for your table. Yes?
Last week out in Arizona, I tried pickleball for the first time.
Pickleball, awesome.
Thank goodness for it.
All right, so 2 off for your table. Anyone else? Try to spread it around.
Sign up for ceramics and beadwork.
Ceramics, awesome. Yes, Pete.
I'm trying to learn the song Use Me Up from Bill Withers. It's like in 6 to 8 times, so it's really, I don't have it.
My friends. Yes. Poetry class. Very good. Yes. Not normally recommended. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yes.
I just started taking a guitar course
Just
out of University of Berkeley.
wow. Guitar course out of Berkeley. Very good. Yes. Anyone? Oh, sorry.
My wife took me to axe throwing, and she used me.
Axe throwing. Doing axe throwing. Very good. Well, as a plug, I also would say you might enjoy trying something new, like since we need some more sergeants, getting up and doing something like this. That might be good. Okay, so you see what you can have. I would have, I thought about becoming a monk, but it turns out that I have claustrophobia. And to wrap things up today, Iron Man is the one who stops the bad guy, but it's always Aluminum Man who foils their plans. Thank you very much. All right, nice job. Thanks, Anthony. And as Anthony said, if anybody's interested in getting up here and being a sergeant, it's a great way to try a new thing, and also a great way to get to be a better public speaker. You get to try your broadcasting skills right here, and you get to learn to work with the camera and hold money up the correct way. So just remember, for those online, you can go online and make your donation. And Jim, I got 5 I didn't put in there. Sorry about that. Thank you, sir. Okay. Awesome. Okay. We have our speaker today, and that is Margaret Goldsmith, and she is the coordinator of Camp Mariposa, Oaklawn's addiction prevention and mentoring program for kids. And she's going to expand on that a little bit. And she's a person that needs no introduction, partly because I don't have one. But she's going to tell you a little bit more about herself when she gets up here too. So thanks everybody, and we'll try to share. And sorry for those online, we literally just dropped, Matterhorn's Wi-Fi just dropped out from under us. So we are on a hotspot right now. I'm hoping that it will work. And I'm sure it might not be as strong as the hotspot would or the Wi-Fi would be, but we'll see. So we'll get this going here. And we'll duplicate this.
There you go. So standard PowerPoint, you can arrow front, back, forward, hit any button to go forward. And you absolutely can. And just try to keep yourself in the frame here of the photo. So don't go walking.
Oh, okay.
I know, hard to do.
Okay. Hi, like you said, I'm Margaret Goldsmith, and I'm the director of Camp Mariposa. In 2019, which wasn't that long ago, I'm a retired school teacher, and I was looking for a retirement job. And I saw an ad in Indeed for a director of Camp Mariposa, and I had absolutely no idea what it was. So I got online and I did a little research, and I thought, I've lived in South Bend all my life and in this area, and I've never heard of Camp Mariposa. So I volunteered for a weekend to work at the camp to see what it was, and applied for the job about the same time. And it didn't matter if I got the job or not, I was gonna be a part of Camp Mariposa. So, okay. Just a second. I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing here, just a second. And I hope I have a little video on this, so I hope it works.
I heard the magic word video.
Do I?
That's gonna be tough, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. Do it, just hit the down arrow?
You can try it, I give this little chance.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay, because I'm not really good at PowerPoints. I put them together and I don't follow them.
Okay.
I just kind of get off on tangents and talk about whatever relates to me.
I'm not certain that that's gonna work.
Okay.
Actually, I'm quite certain that it's not going to work. Hey, Andy, are we getting anything from in the distance there?
No, I'm not sure what's going on. Looks like it's hung up there at the moment. Just to hit escape and see if you can shell out of it.
Okay. Let's try.
And then try and do the view show again.
So should there be a link on this page?
Not on this page.
Oh, not on this page.
No, there's not a link on this page, but I just couldn't get it to
Okay.
go.
You should just hit the space bar or right arrow to move
Sorry.
forward.
Oh,
Yeah.
wrong arrow.
Yeah, that'll work. You can do these. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it wasn't the PowerPoint or the computer at all. Okay, so Camp Mariposa is a joint effort between Aluna and Oaklawn. So in 2000, they're a professional baseball player and the daughter of a basketball coach got married, and they had a child in the family that they took under their wing who was the child of someone who was suffering with the disease of addiction. And they found that there was no place for this child to go for support. I mean, other than therapy, but not to be with other kids that were in the same situation. So they started the what was called the Moyer Foundation at the time. Since then, it's become Aluna, the Aluna Network. And in 2011, Oaklawn and Aluna combined their efforts to start Camp Mariposa in South Bend. Now there are 17 Camp Mariposas in the country and one in Canada now that just opened. So, you know, in 10 years, they've gone from one, which we weren't the first one, I think we were the second or third, to 18 Camp Mariposas because it's that wonderful of a program. So it is a camp, it's weekends for kids who are, the traditional camp is 9 through 12-year-olds who come from households where there is addiction. So, Camp Mariposa is a year-round addiction and prevention mentoring program. We don't have a location. So we rent camp facilities. The traditional camp, which I'm gonna refer to the traditional camp and then the teen camp, because the traditional camp is the one that everybody has. And I'll talk more about the teen camp in a minute. But we rent Camp Rayburn in South Bend for weekends. So it's from 5 o'clock on Friday until noon on Sunday that we have these kids. They're, at this time, their parents are bringing them, but I just wrote into a grant, some funding for transportation. If we can find drivers, that's kind of the problem right now. We will be able to pick up kids who don't have transportation to camp. And that's nice because we'll pick up a whole new group of kids. The goal of Camp Mariposa is to intervene early and break the cycle of addiction. We start with 9-year-olds. I've worked on other prevention programs. I've worked with high school kids. By high school, they're dabbling, that we need to hit them younger. I love the idea that we start talking to kids at 9 about addiction. They have to know who in their family's addicted. They have to understand what addiction is. Those are two of the prerequisites to get into camp, because we have honest conversations with them about it. So just some of the overview. Camp is for 9 through 12-year-olds, but now we have a 13 through 17-year-old teen camp. Their lives are impacted by addiction. It's held 6 times a year. We have a combination of therapeutic activities and regular camp activities. We use a peer mentoring model also. It's absolutely free of charge. And one of the best things about it is that we have to maintain, this is a LUNAS, one of their stipulations is that we have to maintain a 3-to-1 ratio. For every 3 kids, we have a mentor. That just doesn't happen anywhere. I think about being a teacher in a room with 32 kids alone. And then I think about kids that we have 3 kids per mentor. That's just a gift. Gift to the campers, a gift to the mentors. And this is just some statistics about why we need a program like this. And some of the things that I thought were interesting. There's so many statistics. Most of these, a lot of them come from SAMHSA. But every day, 21,000 individuals ages 12 and over have their first use. Okay, so that means the first time they try drugs or alcohol. There's 20 million Americans who live with addiction, and because of that, there's 80 million family members. And there's more than 8 million children who live in a home with a parent in need of treatment, not getting treatment, but in need. So these are just some of the problems that we see with these kids. These kids, for the most part, experience trauma. They struggle in school, and I know that very well from teaching. They have physical and emotional issues, depression and anxiety, and they are 4 times more likely to become dependent themselves. So think about that. These kids, because of where they come from, are 4 times more likely than a child that comes from a household that doesn't have addiction in it. That really puts them at risk. And 80% of the adults with substance use disorder, SUD, started using before the age of 14. So these are just some of the things that we see. Behavior's unpredictable in these families. Communication's unclear. The kids get real confused by what you say and what you mean because of their backgrounds. Rules are unstructured or non-existent, and a lot of times they just think rules are just something that it's said. It doesn't really mean anything. They're really confused about their parents' behavior, and the big thing, a really big thing, is that they blame themselves. A very unfortunate thing. So at Camp Mariposa, we empower youth we provide them a safe place to bond with their peers. So that weekend that I volunteered, I was sitting at a table with 4 little girls, and there was a new boy, and he came in and he sat down at the table and he went, "Are you in foster?" So I mean, he didn't know these little girls, and he wanted to know if they were in foster care. One said, "Oh, I'm back with my mom," and another one said, "Yeah, I've been foster," and another one had been adopted. And so I thought, how cool is this? You can't go to school and talk about that. I mean, you can't go say that to a table of people at school, but you know I can't. It's going to be that safe that these kids are in the same situation. About 40% of our kids are in foster care, and we do have kids who've been adopted. So one of the things they have is the feeling of isolation and guilt, because kids always think it's their fault. If they could just do something differently, this wouldn't happen to my family. We teach them about substance use disorder. We also teach them a lot of positive life skills, and we give them space to just have fun. We spend a lot of time just letting them be kids. And these are just some things they set the reset button and help them with have a positive, something positive to look forward to, which is huge. And I found that because, so it's for 9 through 12-year-olds. As kids get toward 13, they're like, now do I have to be done with camp? Can I stay? They kind of get sad because they're going to not be able to come anymore. So up until now, we had an alumni program, which meant twice a year we'd have something going on a Saturday and invite all the kids who had graduated. We also will let them, after 6 months, apply to be junior counselors. And that's where the peer mentoring comes in. So they can come in and they can work with little kids and say, I've been doing this for a couple of years and this is how this goes. And it's really cool. We also talk about choices. Okay, this is the video. This was on WNIT. A couple weeks ago, a gentleman by the name of Scott Palmer contacted me, and there's a television show on WNIT called Education Counts, and he wanted to feature Camp Mariposa. So if I could enter, should this work?
Let's give it a try.
Yes.
That's a good sign.
Well,
Making their own tie-dye t-shirts is one way campers have fun at camp. Dude, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be here. There's a lot of fun at this lakeside camp near South Bend. An epic water slide, a sort of dodgeball game called Gaga, and this camp favorite known as Night Square. They can play that for hours. That's a really important part of camp, is to make it fun, because a lot of kids, they don't just want to go to talk about their feelings. We get that a lot. Oh, I don't like talking about my feelings. Okay, especially stuff like this. How many people here notice that when their family member is using, they're acting way differently than when they don't? This is Camp Mariposa, a free program hosted by Oak Lawn Psychiatric Center. It's a camp for 9 through 12-year-olds whose lives have been affected by substance use disorder. So that means they have someone in their family who is addicted. Because of that, these kids are 4 times more likely to become addicts themselves. Campers here face a variety of risks, so much so we agreed to protect their identities. That you let what we say at camp stay at camp. Sometimes it's really frightening for parents because they have to admit this. We never make a parent look bad. We stress to the kid, it is not the parent, it's the disease. A complex disease that counselors here know how to simplify. The 7 C's of addiction, it is something that we really pound hard at this camp. The whole camp is based on the 7 C's of addiction, which are, I didn't cause it, I can't control it, and I can't cure it. But what they can do is take care of themselves by communicating their feelings, making good choices, and celebrating themselves. I think my favorite one is I didn't cause it. What does I didn't cause it? With a lot of these kids, I think some of them struggle with guilt. What did I do wrong? And I didn't cause it, takes that away. I can't control it, but I can take by communicating my feelings. And then we talk about what it's done to their lives. And we do that in the form of a letter. So we started off with a group letter to addiction. We help them understand that it's not the person, it's the disease. I really hope you don't have any friends, and
writing them, we'll go down to the bonfire, and then if they want to, they can read their letter to addiction. And then we can burn the letters, and you know, for some kids, they want to read it, and then some kids don't want to read it, and it works fine either way, and then you burn it. And I admit, because I've done it before, it feels very, very satisfying when you burn the letter. My first line was, I have written a lot of hate letters to you in the past, but I don't want to write another one. I'm so tired of hating you and resenting you, because all it's doing is bringing me down. You've been removed from my life so that you can no longer have control over my future. I have a new mom now, and you can't change me. It was actually today that I realized, like, I've done that so many times, and I really just want to move on. Like, I'm graduating today, so, you know, I was like, this is the perfect time for me to just move on.
Camp Mariposa is held 6 weekends each year. Some campers come from as far away as Michigan or Indianapolis, thanks to free transportation. Campers who attend 12 weekends can graduate or stay and take on new roles.
I am officially going to be a graduate, and then I have a little while, and then I can begin training to become a junior counselor. I'm really looking forward to being able to help more kids who were in the position that I was in, because I felt really lonely before I came here, because I was scared. I didn't know that other kids had the same experience that I had. And so I want to be able to give that as a gift to another kid. Okay, that didn't Scott do a nice job on that? Okay, so these are the 7 C's of addiction that we heard Christina, who's one of the counselors, a mentor, talk about. I have the luxury of working for Oaklawn, where most of our mentors are therapists. So we have these kids who have all these issues, and we have therapists right there. So if somebody starts having a meltdown, we've got somebody who can instantly, you know, help them out, help them hold their hand through the weekend. It's an amazing thing. But these are the 7 C's. They have a name tag on a lanyard, and on the back are the 7 C's. Sometimes we'll take one of the 7 C's and make it a topic for the entire weekend. We'll talk about communicating feelings. So we'll talk about how do you recognize your feelings. You need to identify them. You need to be able to talk to somebody about why you feel the way you feel. This is a copy of a letter to addiction that we wrote as a group. So generally, all the camps write letters to addiction, the campers do. If we have a lot of new campers, if we have 3 new campers, I'll say, let's write a letter as a group so that the rest of the campers know what that looks like. And then they can go off and write their own, and then we burn them in the campfire. Sometimes every camper will read their letter, and sometimes none of them. We lost a nurse. We always have a registered nurse on staff. We lost a nurse because he just fell apart when they were reading their letters to addiction. I mean, he just said, you know, I've been dealing with COVID all these months, and this is one of the hardest things I've had to do is listen to these kids talk about what addiction has done to their lives. So some of the other topics that we talk about are signs of suicide. It's actually a curriculum. Zones of regulation is a curriculum. We have art with heart and draw it out, our art therapy that we use sometimes. We talk about positive thoughts versus negative. Letting go of control is a huge one. All of them are guilt and shame. And then for the teen program, we have prevention. So let me talk about the teen program for a second. Last summer, I applied for some funding to start a teen program. So when kids are 13, they aren't just done, because they aren't done with drug prevention at 13. So we now we had our first teen camp at the beginning of October. We'll have our next one will be in November. We ran Camp Elkhart, which is nice because it has different things in Camp Rayford. They have horseback riding, and the kids thought that was pretty cool. So the first one we had 16 campers, which is really, really good for just starting. And also because teenagers, I've talked to other camps that have a teenage element to them, and they say, well, what happens is as they become teenagers, they get jobs, they, kind of lose interest in the camp. And so I was really thrilled that we had 16 and 17-year-olds at our camp, our first camp. And then we had COVID camp. This is what this is what our camp looked like during COVID. Every month I would send them a packet. Each one of the pictures on the top are packets of things that I would send the kids. We'd set up 2-hour Zoom slots. So I would set up like 3 or 4 slots a time over a couple days that they could sign up for. And then we would get on and we'd do some Zoom activities. It was not nearly the value. The program just didn't have the value of the in-person camps. We couldn't talk to them about things. We couldn't ask them to write a letter to addiction if they're at home, possibly with the person in their family who's suffering with the addiction. So it stayed pretty light. The bottom picture of the Zoom screen is just some of the campers. I sent everybody sunglasses last summer, and so everybody had their sunglasses on. And then on the other side is one of our campers. His foster mother took a picture of him and sent it. Then what I have left are testimonials about kids talking about how great camp is. It's like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, it's amazing. So I'm going to end here. But yes, does anybody have any questions about Camp Mariposa? Mariposa means butterfly because we help kids transform. So it's something. So, yes. Okay.
And can you just repeat the question?
Okay, how it's funded and how you can help out. Well, Aluna provides some funding. It's from the Department of Juvenile Justice and Drug Prevention, OJJDP. And then Oakland Foundation. And then we take personal donations, and we have a couple of corporate sponsors. So yes.
Do you have a waiting list of kids?
Right now, we don't have a waiting list because once I had the teen camp, I didn't let any kids graduate during COVID. They needed to have a ceremony, it needed to be done in person. So as soon as we got the teen camp, then we lost like 10 campers right off the bat. So our maximum number of campers at a camp weekend is 30. And right now we're down to about 22. So we have openings, which is a good thing. I have brochures, Camp Mariposa brochures, and I also have registration forms. If you know anybody you think might be interested, if they fill that out and get it to me somehow, I deal with the parents, with the family. It's you don't have to do anything else. Yes, sir.
What's your average cost per kid for the camp?
I can't even tell you that. I don't have any idea. I don't. I should know that. Yes.
How many youth have gone through your program?
210. About 210.
And you follow up with those youth, see if they become addicted?
Yes. Yeah.
What percentage become addicted?
Well, so all of our data is kept through LSU, Louisiana State. They do all that follow up. We have assessments we give the kids when they start camp, and every year they take an assessment and we give that data to LSU, and then they follow up. So I don't really know. I know it's available, but I just don't know offhand. But I should. Yes.
How often do you run your camps? Is it every month, quarterly?
So the traditional, the little kid camp is every other month. So the beginning of October and the end of November, and then we'll have one in January, March, and May. The teen camp, because we got the money needed to get started, we just did once a month, October, November, and December. But then it'll be every other month, January, March, and May, starting in 2022. So.
What kind of support are you receiving from the parents of the children?
The, I'm not sure, well, support, they love the program. They have to, I mean, they have to admit that there is something wrong because their child has to come and talk about it. So I have, you know, before a kid can start camp, I have an interview with the parents and I have an interview with the potential camper. And we talk about, you know, I ask them what if they know what addiction is and if who in their house is addicted. So the parents have to know about that. I have to say most of the kids, they do not live in a household with an active user. They're usually recovering, but sometimes it's not the case. You know, we have a handful. Yes.
How many men do you have as volunteers who are students? Is that a difficult area to recruit?
It is a difficult area to recruit. And right now, most of our campers are male.
Well, there are.
Yes. We try to keep it even, but right now I think we had, last camp we had, of the kids that showed up, because we, you know, typically parents will sign up and then just not show up. But we had 12 boys and 5 girls. We only had 17 campers last time.
Shannon, were you asking how many men?
Yeah.
How many men?
Men.
Oh, we have 3 male mentors. They're therapists they work at Oakland. One is a therapist. But we really need to.
One more question back to
Okay.
Julie.
With art therapy, do you ever do any type of physical, like hands-on trauma release stuff with them, movement or anything like that?
We do like yoga. We do a lot of mindfulness. We talk to them about mindfulness, and we do yoga, and but nothing I know by that. Okay, yeah, do, because we have a woman comes in and does yoga with them, you know, every once in a while, and yeah, that would be great.
You know, music would be a good medium for that group too, I would think.
Music?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do drumming. That'll be great. So.
Margaret, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thanks so much. That was really, I did not know anything about this, and I'd be curious how many of you in the room, other than the presentation and having maybe seen it advertised, knew about Camp Mariposa? Not too many. So just a few hands in the room here. That's great. And by the way, you might have gathered that we as a club make grants to not-for-profit organizations in our area. The applications for those are typically available early in the year. And so come, you know, January or so, we'll have that out. But it seems like something, and maybe that's what Eric was curious about, you know, what it might cost to sponsor one child. That's pretty awesome. So I'm sure Margaret will hang around a little bit. And Margaret, sorry for no introduction of you, but just knowing that you're a teacher, we're a teacher, that means a lot to a lot of folks in this room. I know that no one in here is completely unaffected by addiction, whether it's someone you've known, a family member, someone, you know, very close. Everybody can feel that, and this is a good room to spread that message and information. Thank you for sharing that. Also, this club founded the Wellfield Botanic Gardens back in 2005. Have you been to Wellfield before? Well, as a gift for you today, we have a couple of passes that we'd love you to come back out and check it out. And in the words of our international Rotary President, Shakar Mehta, serve to change lives. Rotary's adjourned. Thanks everybody so much for being here today.